Have you noticed when you change out of the usual sweats or pajamas that we're all living in, that your real clothes seem to be fitting a little more snug? Is your head spinning, wondering how you seemingly effortlessly gained some extra pounds over the last year? My name is Dr. Maille, Naturopathic Doctor. I'm going to explain to you the reasons behind why you may have gained some weight over the last year. Welcome back to part 2 of our video series about losing the quarantine 15. If you missed my last video, it was full of some reasons as to why stress may be causing your weight gain. I gave some quick tips about how to overcome the problem. However, as I mentioned in the video, stress is only one piece of the weight gain puzzle. I have created this 3-part video series that will help you understand the reasons behind your quarantine 15, and I want to help you get back to your pre-pandemic weight. In today's video, we're diving deep into the next factor you might not realize is playing a role in your weight gain. It may seem counterintuitive to think the more time you're awake and maybe moving, the increased risk for weight gain. But research suggests there is a strong link between sleep restriction and obesity. Although the exact mechanism cannot be pinpointed for each individual, in general, there are a group of factors associated with a lack of sleep, which can then result in increased weight gain. When I mention sleep restriction throughout this video, this means in general 7 hours or less of sleep. Okay, so let's get started. How does a lack of sleep lead to your jeans not fitting the same? To start, one may think that by getting less sleep, it would mean more activity because you're awake more and therefore moving more. However, studies have found either no increase or a very small increase in energy expenditure with sleep deprivation. If you think about it, this makes sense because if you're not sleeping, you're probably not staying up late to exercise. It's more likely you're laying in bed, trying to fall asleep, or staying up late on the couch watching Netflix. Research has actually shown a decrease in physical activity throughout the day in those getting less sleep. This is most likely due to fatigue from a lack of sleep. Secondly, if we're awake for more hours of the day, we tend to eat more. But also, the caloric density of foods that we eat when we are sleep deprived is higher. When our bodies become fatigued, we reach for high-fat and high-carbohydrate food. Insufficient sleep can trigger the reward areas in our brain. If you think about the last time you had a really bad sleep, what did you wake up and eat the next day when you were exhausted? Did you wake up and want chocolate chip waffles? Or did you wake up and want your green smoothie? Next time you have a poor sleep, try to resist the urge to eat processed or really simple carbohydrate foods, as you are pre-programmed to want these foods. Try to eat foods that are more nutrient dense and filling, that have higher protein and high fiber amounts to keep you full throughout the day. Another reason a lack of sleep can lead to weight gain is a disruption in our appetite hormones. We have 2 hormones, leptin and ghrelin. Ghrelin is a hormone which triggers the feelings of hunger, your stomach rumbling, and how you feel when you're hungry. Whereas leptin signals satiety and lets us know when our bodies are full. Now, when we have a poor night's sleep, our ghrelin levels increase and our leptin levels decrease. So you're actually feeling more hungry. It's not just that you want to snack, you actually have the feelings of hunger. So if you wake up from a really poor sleep and you're constantly feeling hungry all day, your ghrelin levels may be abnormally high. To help yourself get rid of this hunger, again, try to focus on these nutrient-dense foods. You want high protein and high fiber, like Greek yogurt, rolled oats for breakfast, meats, tofu, legumes. All of these are great options to help us feel more full. Simple carbohydrates, on the other hand, such as a granola bar or a piece of toast, may actually lead to more hunger due to changes in your blood glucose. Poor sleep can also increase the storage of fat in the belly area and decreased insulin sensitivity. Decreased insulin sensitivity means our body has to secrete more insulin than is normal. Insulin's job is to take sugar out of the bloodstream and store it as fat. Noticing high insulin levels is less intuitive than, say, noticing a drop in your leptin or increase in ghrelin. So you may want to see a naturopathic doctor in order to have some blood tests done to see if your insulin levels are chronically high. If we can solve the insulin problem, you're one step closer to getting rid of this quarantine 15 while improving your health. Okay, so we know that sleep disruption can lead to weight gain. But why did this increase throughout COVID-19? This is going to be different for everyone, but there are several reasons as to why your sleep may be disrupted right now. We're all very stressed right now, and stress leads to increases in a hormone called cortisol. Near the end of the day, as we're getting ready to sleep, our cortisol levels should be lower. With high stress and subsequent high cortisol levels, our sleep then suffers. Plus, we all know how it feels to lay in bed, stressed, heart racing, and already feeling anxious about being tired the next day. Secondly, our daily routines have been disrupted. Our bodies like routine, and something as simple as a change in routine can impact our sleep. Part of this change in routine is not going to work. This usually means less movement, less time outside, less social interaction, and a decrease of the overall excitement and activity of the day. These are things that tire us out. Even when you feel mentally exhausted at the end of the day, your body may not feel physically tired enough to sleep. Alcohol intake is something else that has increased during the pandemic. Alcohol is an interesting one because having a glass of alcohol can actually make it easier for you to fall asleep. However, the quality of the sleep suffers. So maybe you're falling asleep fine, but you're relying on your glass of wine to help you fall asleep, and you're still waking up fatigued. The alcohol is impacting the quality of the sleep. Lastly, for the most part, we're spending a lot of time in front of screens right now. Screen time can impact our sleep due to the bright blue light that is emitted from screens. This blue light signals a gland in our brain telling us that it's morning time due to the bright light exposure. Our brains are then confused, and it makes it difficult for us to fall asleep. Okay, so we know that stress, change in routines, our environment, nutrition, alcohol consumption, and screen time are all impacting our sleep, which can increase our risk for weight gain. What can we do to improve sleep in order to be healthier and lose weight? The first thing we want to do is try to reduce our stress. Maybe we can take breaks throughout the day when you're feeling the stress build up inside of you, or by practicing mindfulness or deep breathing exercises when you feel yourself getting stressed. For some more tips specifically on stress, go check out part 1 of this video series, all about stress. Secondly, we need to make our rooms a more relaxing environment. If possible, try to not have your work set up in your room. If there is no other alternative and you must work in your room right now, try to at least not do work on your bed. At night, when you're in your room to sleep, make sure your room is dark, quiet, and cool. If you're struggling with sleep, it might be good to try moving all caffeinated beverages to before noon. Now, remember, coffee isn't the only caffeinated beverage. Green tea, as well as black tea, both contain caffeine. Try decaffeinated coffee or an herbal tea in the afternoon instead. Try to make sure you're exercising for at least 20 to 30 minutes each day. You can try breaking this up throughout the day into maybe even 1-minute chunks. If you're struggling with this one, make sure to stay tuned for my next video where we talk all about movement and exercise. I know screen time during the day may be out of your control right now. Try to limit your leisure screen time. So instead of watching a movie after dinner, Try going for a walk with someone, drawing, knitting, or reading. If you absolutely have to be on screens right up until bedtime, it might be worth it for you to invest in a pair of blue blocking glasses. Now, even if you're tired throughout the day, but you're struggling with sleep at night, try to limit your napping throughout the day, as this can impact the sleep at night. Also, if you cannot sleep at night, it is not a good idea to stay there and toss and turn. What you need to do is to get out of bed. What happens is if we're tossing and turning in bed, we begin to associate our beds with this other type of stress. So when you can't sleep, get out of bed and go do a quiet activity with dim light in another room. What I recommend is to create a bedtime routine for yourself. 2 hours before bed, start to dim your lights and your screen brightness on any screens if you're using them. An hour before bedtime, start to wind down and do some sort of mundane, boring, or calming activity. Do something that is not stimulating and preferably not in front of a screen. Then, only as you're tired, get into bed. Certain supplements can help relax and also promote sleep in those who are struggling, but it's always important to consult your own healthcare provider before introducing any sort of sleep aid. Magnesium is one of my favorite pre-bedtime supplements, as it can both calm the mind and also creates physical relaxation in your muscles. Now, you want to select a certain magnesium depending on your own individual needs. There are several different types of magnesium. The most common forms are magnesium citrate and magnesium bisglycinate. A citrate form can cause loose stools, so this may be helpful for those who have functional constipation, but if you tend to have looser stools or diarrhea, you want to avoid magnesium citrate. Magnesium bisglycinate, however, is a more absorbable form, and it's better for those who tend to have looser stools. So, for example, the Calm supplement that a lot of people have seen in a powdered form, that is magnesium citrate. Magnesium bisglycinate, I like Camprez magnesium bisglycinate in a capsule form. Remember to always consult your healthcare provider, as there's many different types of magnesium, and one other than these two might be best for you. Sedative herbs can be drank as a tea, or they can be taken in a tincture format. Some sedative herbs include passion flower, lavender, lemon balm, or valerian root. Supplements GABA and L-theanine are good calming supplements to help those feel more anxious and restless at night. Melatonin is probably the most popular sleep supplement on the market. Melatonin helps regulate the sleep-wake cycle that I described when I was talking about screens. Perhaps taking a melatonin supplement and wearing blue blockers is all that you need to improve your sleep with increased screen time right now. Now, melatonin is an amazing supplement, but you can build a tolerance to it. So it's best to take breaks when you're taking melatonin. Melatonin helps signal your body to sleep. So when you're taking melatonin, you want to take it about an hour before bed, not in the morning. Individuals all tolerate melatonin very differently, so always start with the lowest possible dose that you need, and you could increase from there. You don't want to take more melatonin than you need, as your body can become reliant on it. Sometimes, if you take too much melatonin, you can feel groggy the next morning. Melatonin can also cause very vivid dreams. If you notice that you're taking melatonin and your sleep has not improved, this means melatonin is not the supplement for you, and there may be an underlying cause of your sleep disruption. This is when you should see a naturopathic doctor or other healthcare practitioner to help you see what's going on. So, to summarize, our body needs adequate sleep to function. When we don't have adequate sleep, like a lot of us right now, we end up over-consuming less nutritious but calorically dense foods. We're also less motivated to move our bodies. Our hormones get out of whack, all setting us up for this increase in weight gain. Therefore, by doing a detox diet or a quick fix supplement for weight loss, we may not see great results. We need to focus on improving our sleep in order to optimize our body's environment for weight loss first. Just like I mentioned in the first video, all about stress, when we improve our sleep, we're not just addressing our weight gain, but you're also going to feel better in your day-to-day life and reduce your risk for several other health issues. Poor sleep is associated with several chronic diseases, such as heart disease, diabetes, asthma, Parkinson's disease, and hyperthyroidism. By improving your sleep, just like reducing stress, you're making a larger impact on your health, and you will see the changes that you want in your weight. So I hope this video has been helpful for getting those sleep habits back on track. Let us know in the comments below which tip you're going to try first. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe, and don't forget about episode 3, all about movement. See you next time.